pressure in my brakes.
Oh, go on. Just like you.
Back there.
On our way to the Baw Baw Classic, I'm in C grade, start at Nuji. This is Will, his master's C grade. He also starts in Nuji. We're still on time. We've still got a lot of time up our sleeve, but we still want to get there on time so we can do a nice warm up and have coffee. Time to flaff around.
I want coffee.
He wants coffee, and since he's the one that has the steering wheel, he has the say when we're driving, to a point, you know. But so the race today, we start at Nuji, up towards Mount Baw Baw, finish at the top. It's around 50 kilometers, although it's sort of a bit of an understatement because we still do around 2,700 meters of climbing, which is quite a lot. Your normal ride to King Lake is only from the city is probably around 1,800 meters. So this is a lot of climbing. Out of Nuji, we go up Vespa Hill, which is a pretty steep climb. I think it's about 4 Ks at Will? Vespa Hill?
17 minutes long.
17 minutes long, was it?
Yeah, 17 minutes long, hits 12% at the start, and is within the first 5-10 minutes of the race. So it may be a split point for the group. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Descending as well. There's maybe not a lot, but there's a good chunk of it. Because whatever you come up, you must come down eventually. The descents they're fairly technical. There's a few hairpins in them, which I'm looking forward to. Will, you rode it last week.
Yes.
What are the descents like?
So the key descent, well, there's 2 descents to watch out for. So after Vespa's Hill, you go up about 12% and then you descend about 12%. It's a straight road that then has a tight right-hand corner coming up. The next one to look out for is Tandril Bren. So you climb up slowly up to Tandril Bren, and then there's on the descent there's a number of switchbacks that you have to watch out for, especially the last one right down the bottom, which is a nice big hairpin bend at speed. So you have to be careful of that one. But once you hit the bottom of that, then it's all climbing up to Baw Baw.
And how steep is Baw Baw?
It hits 21% at its steepest pinch. It's roughly 6.5 Ks at 600 to 700 meters and averages about 11%.
So that, in other words, it's fucking steep.
Yeah, pretty much. There you do get some flat bits, but you do not get any descents.
Could you compare this to people who don't know Baw Baw? Can you compare it to any other big name climbs?
I was doing Hewitt's Road near King Lake as training, which is comparable in terms of grades. You'd have to do some of the ones in the Dandenongs, like maybe Invermay and things like that. It's just steep and it's long and it's one that scares people, obviously.
Oh, the descent's pretty scary.
Yeah. You avoid the descent if you can. It's not one that if you're not a confident descender to do, or if you have carbon wheels, really.
Yeah. The carbon wheels is they tend to melt under extreme heat for long periods of time. So if you're an experienced rider with carbon wheels, you know that holding them down for an extended period of time can cause them to delaminate. Is that right? Delaminate?
Yes.
Delaminate, which blows up the tyre, and you're probably going to lick the tar. So it's probably preferred that you have metal rims or aluminium rims to descend Baw Baw on. They still get pretty hot, so you can still get brake fade. I've had brake fade before, and it's not really that fun. Your hands sort of feel like they're gonna melt because of the heat. It just gets really hot. I don't know how the levers get hot, but they just do. I think the answer is just because physics. Just physics. It's down Donna Bawang when I was maybe 12, 13, and I was holding the brakes for too long, and they got really hot, and I couldn't brake. That's what happens when you have brake fade. You can't really slow down. So I had him having to go in front of me, hold me back down, hold me down,
and brake for myself.
and brake for himself.
At 108 kilos.
At 108 kilos, going down to the brake.
So I'm braking with one hand, literally, for approximately 155, 160 kilos with one hand.
Yeah. Here comes the power.
Yeah. I've seen no speed restriction. It's 80k. I'm just.
Well, there are a few spurs around. There's the Refton spurs.
I like it. It's got 85 kilometers to go around this corner, and the speed limit's 80. It's like, we know you're going to be speeding, so just don't go too fast around this corner, okay?
So we were just conversing before. Baw Baw is really steep, 11% average. It's a sort of climb that would probably take you about maybe 33 minutes if you're doing well. Depending on how much power you're putting down in your weight, a lot of science behind it. It's a sort of climb that you're probably going to be doing about 10, 11 kilometers an hour, and a difference of like 0.1, 0.2 will mean that it's an attack. You're going to be attacking at 11.2 kilometers an hour.
Slowly riding off.
Which is insane. And like an attack on Baw Baw means you're going all in.
So you when you drop down from Tandra Bren, you'll go through some fast corners. You get to the bottom and you cross a bridge, and then from there it's a slow, gradual climb up to where the old ticket box used to be. So that's about 5k's of climbing, and then you got another 7k to the top. It should take about 54 minutes to do, and the last 7, as TJ said, will take about 33 minutes, and that's about race pace. So that's kind of what I'm expecting for today.
Running just a standard, and up to about 28. So 39, 28. Used to those gears. I thought about changing them, but I'm really used to having a 39 as sort of like, that's my gear. I own it. It's mine. Well, you're running a 36, was it?
So I'm running a mid-compact, so a 52-36, and I've got an 1130 cassette on the back. And for me, that means I'll be spinning up about 65 cadence when it hits about 12%.
That's still a bit of a strength interval, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm wondering how you're going to go with a 39-28.
That's probably about maybe 50 cadence.
About that.
50 cadence. That's just like me hitting the gym every day. Burgers.
Yum.
You know what they are, Will?
Very young age.
I haven't been on this in so long. How do you get on these things again? Like this? Like this?
I'm videotaping you doing this, by the way.
Alright, we'll keep recording it then. And then they get on. I haven't been on this since ages, so I don't like these death traps.
Yeah, good job.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get on. Alright. I'm rolling.
Just testing.
You look like an idiot. Alright, talk to the camera.
Alright, so we were at Nuji for coffee, and apparently last week some guy also ordered a Magic. I'm assuming he was of Sarkis persuasion, and she said that she didn't know what it was then, and we sort of explained it to her now, but she didn't quite fully understand. And this is just a message to most riders who order Magic, or just anyone from Melbourne, that when you go outside of Melbourne, the chances of getting a Magic declines by about 50% per square kilometre outside of the Melbourne region. And so the further you travel out of Melbourne, the less chance you will of getting said magic. And this is a message to people who are not from Melbourne. And if you're a barista who doesn't live in Melbourne, when someone orders a magic, just nod your head and say, "What is that?" And then when they give you the answer, if it isn't a double ristretto with 3/4 shot milk, then slap them. And just as a FYI, magics are the drink for the complete snob. If you are a snob, then the magic is for you.
Terence, what's your favourite drink?
Magic. However, there is the exception, i.e. me, that if you are not a snob, and when I mean snob, I mean someone who has turned back a coffee. If you have done that, then you are the snob. If you haven't turned back a coffee, then you're just an...
Colours. Open road today, keeping left. Yeah? Keeping left. There are 3 rules. Keep left. Keep left. No littering.
86.
It's like Ed to every race and not straight up 20. Yeah, did he not?
In your words,
Oh, was it?
push hard. That's it. That's just grind.
Fellas, there's one other important thing. If you
So came over the line 3rd spot. Some I don't know who it was, but some guy in St. Cloud was in front of me, chasing him down. And then the unfortunate events is someone was over the finish line, and I had to brake to not actually ram someone's wheel. So yeah, sort of gave it a bit of a dig on Vespa Hill steep section. Split it apart a little bit, and then sort of gave it to the side of the Baw Baw. Sort of how fast can you go?
Led them up the whole way from the gantry?
Almost. Just holding tempo or threshold.
Yeah.
I had enough bands for the sprint, but
What happened to the idea of leaving them and going out on your own?
yeah, I mean that came across my mind, but Baw Baw is so steep that if you go a little bit too far in the red, you'll never get it back. So I sort of just held my my threshold.
I was surprised how close they came.
Challenging part about this race.
Trying to hold on Vespas, I'd say. Actually, some of those descents were sketchy. There were cars coming the other way that you can't see, water across the road, and you just don't know what's around those corners. So it's a pretty challenging race actually. I've done it 3 times now. Obviously the hills as usual, but you can only do what you can do up those.
It was my first ever race, first time ever riding Baw Baw or any of these roads, so it was interesting, but got top 10, which was what I came for, so pretty happy.
What was the most challenging part of today?
Oh, that last climb was pretty brutal, but I mean in our grade, the first climb was probably the hardest. Guys pushing 400, 500 watts, so no, it was crazy, but glad I did it. Yeah, what a beautiful day. As opposed to last year, it was snowing and so forth, so the weather was on.
What about you, mate?
I was sort of on the back of the front group and yo-yoing back and forth all day, and then yeah, as soon as it pitched up that last 6Ks, I was off the back and just holding on for dear life.
What about you, spectator?
Just did my own little Baw Baw Classic before the race, and then killed myself doing that and made my way up here and to watch these guys finish up. So
How do you reckon these guys went?
really well. They both did really well. Adam did exceptional for his first race, so pretty proud of him. So yeah.
Is this a do again event?
Absolutely. Be better train next year, I reckon. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd give it another go. It's not really my kind of hill. Baw Baw is a bit too steep for me, but really good day, a hell of a lot of fun. So yeah, I'll come back.
What is it like to live at Mount Baw Baw?
It's pretty spectacular. You get days like this where the sun's shining, and then during winter you get the snow, so you get the best of both worlds. It's quite a unique environment.
What is it like to have cyclists come up?
Oh, it's amazing. Driving past those guys on the road on the way up the mountain is quite impressive. You wonder how they can do it. That road's the steepest in the southern hemisphere, they say, so it's pretty impressive to see you guys come up here and do your thing.
Do you have any advice for any tourists that want to either ride or drive at Mount Baw Baw?
Make sure you plan ahead. Make sure that you choose a day where the weather's quite good. Check the road conditions before you come on up. It's definitely not the kind of road you just do straight away. Make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, because it is quite a difficult climb.
Over there. I wonder if you can do that on a road bike. You can come out of that trail over there.
In second. Terence. Congratulations.
Alright, so in the car heading back to Will's place to drop him off. Today went fairly well. Got third today. Picked up the VRS Series Lee's jersey, which is pretty sweet. A little bit stroppy after what happened at the finish line. I'm not sure what I can say about it before I start putting the sport in disrepute. So all I'm going to say is that someone was doing something that they shouldn't have been doing at the finish line, and that caused me to having to drastically change speeds due to not hitting his back wheel. So a little bit upset about that.
I ended up 6th. It was essentially pretty much a sprint to the base of Baw Baw. We had a field of 27. By the top of Vespers it was down to 12, and then by the top of Icy Creek it was down to 9. And that's how it stayed until the base of Baw Baw. We had one guy go off at the base of Baw Baw and take the win by about 3 minutes, and then the rest of us followed over the next sort of couple minutes after that. So I finished in 6th place, about 5.5 minutes back. So all in all, it was a pretty tough race at the base, and then the legs just gave out. I don't think I probably ate enough for the climb up, but that's racing. And hearing some of the stories and some of the tactics, some things worked for some people, some things didn't. So it's I think we all have learnings to take out of today. So yeah, another Baw Baw Classic over and done with.
Out of Nuji, you go straight up Vesper Hill. I think we went through this in our introduction. I sort of gave it some beans at the steep section, just for a little bit of, see what's happening, how strong are these guys that are behind me, what are my legs feeling like, have I gotten a good warm up yet? No, I warmed up straight after that hill. That was a really good warm up. I did bring a banana with me as well to munch on. Took me about 3 goes to finish it all. I didn't really my stomach didn't want the banana, but my brain was telling me eat the goddamn banana. So I kind of ate about 3/4 of it before I could not finish it, and I gave it an absolute whirl. Threw it so far into the grass. I should probably be in the NFL.
Actually, Terence, we were behind you, and I was in the commissar's car, as you know, and you may have felt like you threw it a long way, but you didn't. It actually just went into the edge of the... I know, I saw the effort you put into it, but I reckon the effort you're putting into your legs definitely did not reflect the throw of that banana peel, because the commissaire turned around and said, lucky it didn't make it onto the road.
Because you would have been fine.
You could have been fine. I know the effort you put in, I saw the effort you put in, but believe me, the effort was all going in your legs. Trust me, mate, no NFL for you.
Well, I don't really give a shit, because that was a good throw. I know it was a good throw. I've got more credibility here than he does. That was a neat throw.
I've actually got it on footage as well, Terence.
That's bullshit.
At the time.
I don't, that was a good throw.
I think the moral of this story is it went far enough that it didn't have to go any further. So you put enough effort in to get it off the road so that you wouldn't get fined.
Yeah, that's it, exactly right.
Alright, well, okay. I think Will's pretty spot on with this one. And so most people gearing wise went with a 34, probably 34, 36. I was...
You mean compact?
Yeah, compact, like semi-compact, compact. Just went up with my standard cranks, 39, 28 at the back. I found that fine. I didn't feel like I needed an extra gear. I thought I was holding cadence pretty well. So, nutrition wise, I had 2 gels, and I didn't really think I needed the 2 gels at the time. But when I started Baw Baw, I was going, thank fuck those 2 gels, because it was really useful for that. Drink wise, 2 sports drinks. That was enough for me to live on.
And top of Baw Baw, what did you have?
Top of Baw Baw, I had some had a few soft drinks and some highly expensive food, like hella high wedges. Didn't think it could be that expensive for just
$14
wedges.
$14.
They knew we were coming. They definitely do have local prices there. Could I pay off as being a local next time?
No.
If I wear like Mount Baw Baw, like cycling, no, they don't have Mount Baw Baw cycling car.
I can help you there.
That I chose to eat wasn't so much for the energy, for the carbs, but more so as like an anti-cramp agent. And so that helped me not cramp up, which was good. I mean, it's got the benefit of having like some glycogen in it, which helps with energy, which is always pretty sweet. But the main reason for having the banana was so I didn't end up having to clasp at my hamstrings the whole way up Baw Baw. And if you stop pedaling up Baw Baw, I think
You don't start.
yeah, you don't start up again.
Okay, that's what you're doing.
Think about, I wasn't looking at my Magellan for very long, or for very distinct reasons. Whenever I would look back up from looking down again, my vision would be all blurry, so I sort of stopped doing that. But I think it felt around 60. I think it was about 60. It's on Strava, so if you want to check out my Strava activity, you can.
I saw one of the Route 33 guys there, and I turned around and said, mate, this is a long way from Route 33. A long way. He goes, this is not like Ricketts. I said, no, it's a bit steeper than Ricketts. I usually do the Ricketts training as well for Baw Baw on the 5311. Yeah. My only gear I know.
That's your only gear. You might as well just run a freaking fixed gear.
According to Adam, I already do.
Mechanic Adam does he laugh at you? I'm not sure if he laughs.
He laughs at me.
He laughs. Yeah, he does. He laughs at him for how worn out his 11 is compared to his
rest of his gears.
Because they are sharp. They cut skin, and they have before. His campy gears that he rode about 50,000 Ks, 50,000 Ks on them. They drew blood.
The mechanic's blood and my blood.
The mechanic's blood and his blood. I think at the time that was pre-bike bug. That was Plenty Cycles days with Norbert.
Norbert.
He
took them off, and he was quite shocked at the fact that the 11 was so worn down. It was razor sharp on each tooth, and yet the 23, I think it was, or the 25 tooth had barely been touched. Yeah. So, and the let's just say that 55 Campy wears in, Shimano wears out. Let's just say that I'd completely worn it in.
Oh, this is gonna hit some people up.
Campy wears in, Shimano wears out.
Oh, people. Damn. Bill's triggered. I can see it already. He's angry.
I'm just enjoying the conversation. I'm not biting.
Like that. Cool. You got wood?